Hi guys, I'm Savannah, and I just wanted to talk to you about sugar gliders. I've been on YouTube and I've seen a lot of information on YouTube and online and other places that tell you about sugar gliders, and a lot of the information that they're giving out is wrong. And I just wanted to quickly, because I made a other video and it was like 25 minutes long, so I'm not going to try to bore you guys. I'm going to quickly touch upon some topics that are thrown around on websites and stuff that are big, hot debate issues and need to be talked about because you can be potentially killing your glider by following some of this information. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about quickly is just to give you a little bit of information about sugar gliders. A sugar glider is a small gliding marsupial native to eastern and northern mainlands of Australia and New Guinea. They are marsupials, which means that they're not rodents, they're not squirrels or mice or rats or related to those at all. They're more related to possums or kangaroos. They have little pouches, the females have little pouches in their stomach that the babies crawl into and live in, kind of like mom kangaroo with her baby Joey. You can tell the difference between male and female sugar gliders because unneutered males don't have this, but unneutered males have little bald spots on their foreheads. Females have little pouches. Sugar gliders are nocturnal, meaning they sleep during the day and are awake during the night. I've seen a lot of videos, and I've talked to people I've seen a lot of websites and stuff claiming that, having videos or whatever of sugar gliders out during the day, people taking them out, having them crawl around them in the daytime or in stores or whatever. This isn't really good. Sugar gliders have really big eyes, as you've noticed, and it is because they're nocturnal, so they need to see a little better at nighttime. And the harsh lights from the sun, or especially from stores or whatever, can really hurt their eyes. And on top of it, they don't like being woken up in the day. Sugar gliders are colony animals. In the wild, they live in packs of 10 to 15, and so you really need at least 2 sugar gliders. They can get really lonely and can overgroom or self-mutilate if there's just one. They can get very easily depressed. Overgrooming, they'll start pulling out their hair on their body in certain spots or all over. Self-mutilating, they'll actually chew off or cause big wounds in their tail or their arms or their legs or whatever. It's not fun. It might be a little more expensive to get 2 sugar gliders off the bat, but in the long run it'll definitely save you a lot of money from vet bills and stuff like that, of taking your sugar glider in and finding him overgrooming and self-mutilating. I've read a lot that some people say, oh, I only have 1 sugar glider and it's fine and it's healthy and I'm with it all the time and I spend almost all of my day with it. Even though you might be spending a lot of time with it and you might be saying, oh, it's fine if I have 1 sugar glider, I don't need 2 because I spend so much time with it. The thing is, it's not going to be as happy as it would be with another sugar glider. Nothing can replace the companionship of another sugar glider, especially since they're colony animals. And I mean, if you think about it, if you were stuck in a house for the rest of your life and you could only see, for example, a dog for the rest of your life, you'd be happy to get the attention from the dog, but it wouldn't beat getting the attention from a real human. So it's kind of the same way with sugar gliders. Sugar gliders need a good sized cage. Since they fly around and hop, well, they don't really fly, but they glide or hop around, they need a pretty good sized cage to do all this in. This is my cage. It has a wheel. They love the wheel. They have 2 pouches. They love to sleep in pouches. That's as tall as it is. I have a really tall cage. I don't know the exact dimensions of it offhand, but it's much bigger than I am, although I'm pretty short. It is definitely taller than, I want to say much taller than 5 feet. Sugar glider needs at least the minimum of 3 by 5 feet of a cage. The taller the better, because they like to hop around and jump around, and if you think about it, they live in the wild and they have such a vast area to roam around in that a tiny little cockatiel or budgie cage is not big enough for them at all. The diet of a sugar glider is very important. A lot of people say pellets are great and they swear by pellets, or people tell them that pellets are fine to give them. This is not the case. Pellets are really, really bad. They contain a lot of fillers. They're primarily made up of fillers, and one of the major fillers is yellow ground corn, and you can usually see that if you look into the ingredients. The pellets that are made of corn, gliders love, but corn is really bad for them. A normal diet ratio consists of 2 parts calcium, 1 part phosphorus, and corn is 1 part calcium, 25 parts phosphorus, and you can already see the problem there, and it's really unhealthy for them. A good diet consists of 50% protein, 25% fruits, and 25% vegetables. There are a lot of different diets that you can pick from. Some of the most popular ones are HPW, BML, and Priscilla's. Mine are on Priscilla's. I got them from Priscilla, and they really like the diet. It is a combination of either chicken or eggs, and then a bunch of different fruits and a bunch of different vegetables. I usually rotate that so that they don't get bored. The important thing about diet is that if they have a bad diet, they can suffer from malnutrition and they can die. They can get discoloration in their coat with, like, standard grays, for example. Their coat becomes, while it's supposed to be gray, becomes kind of brownish looking, and their stomach, while it's supposed to be white, comes like this icky yellow color, and their fur can become like kind of cracked looking. They can also get hind leg paralysis, which is where their hind legs stop working. They start to drag them around. That's really bad. And if that's happening, you should probably take them to a vet right away. And in general, they can just die from malnutrition. And there are a lot of places that I've read about sugar gliders that have died from malnutrition within like a year or two of getting them, and it's really sad. So, and a healthy diet is a very important diet. Heat rocks are another thing that are really bad that I've read about that people have been using. Heat rocks can burn their hands. They have very sensitive little hands and feet, and it can burn them. And sugar gliders are sapsuckers, which means that they like to strip the bark off of trees and suck the sap out. So they love to chew. So putting a heat rock in there that has a cord they can chew on and get electrocuted and probably die. You don't want your sugar glider to get electrocuted. I wouldn't put anything with wires in a cage with a hamster or a bird, so I don't see why sugar gliders should be any different. They will definitely chew on that. Totoro, one of my gliders, Totoro, is a huge chewer, and he would chew through that wire in a second if I had a heat rock in my cage. So heat rocks are really bad. Another thing that's really bad are leashes. I've read that people have been using leashes on their sugar gliders. That's really bad. Even full body harnesses are bad. They have been known both to strangle and kill sugar gliders. Sugar gliders love to explore and love to jump around, so if they happen to get startled or jump off of you for any reason and you have them on a leash, you can snap their little necks. And they have tiny little bones and tiny little bodies, and they're in general just really tiny. So it's pretty easy to hurt them with a leash. And it can also damage their flying membrane and rip it or ruin it in some way, which then they can't really glide, and that is also very sad. If you're worried about your sugar glider running away, it's probably because it's not bonded with you enough, and you probably need to do a little more bonding. You can get a bonding pouch. That's what I have. It's just like a pouch with a little window in there. You can see that I have 2 sugar gliders in there, and it has a little flap. I made mine with a little flap because they like it dark, so I cover it up. It has a little zipper so that they're secure inside, and I just hang around my neck and carry them around. That way they kind of get used to your voice and your smell, and it's a great bonding tool. There are some other bonding techniques that you can do that I'll touch upon maybe in a different video. Vets are also really important. If you have to find a vet that has dealt with sugar gliders before, or is an exotic vet, primarily someone who has dealt with sugar gliders before. I've read a lot of posts and things online of people taking their sugar gliders to regular vets, and the regular vets not having any idea what they were and doing really bad stuff to them because they thought that they were something else. For example, a lot of vets think that, well, rodents, for example, have long teeth that they have to constantly file down. That's why they chew on a lot of things. And sometimes they can grow really long, so vets will clip their teeth to, shorten them so that they won't be in any pain or won't like cut into your gums or anything. Sugar gliders have teeth kind of like ours, in which they have nerves all throughout their teeth. So I've read a couple times that vets have clipped their teeth thinking that it's like a rodent's teeth and it won't hurt, but in actuality it's like clipping our teeth, and they have exposed nerves and they'll be in pain for pretty much the rest of their life. So it's really important to find a vet who knows about sugar gliders and knows how to deal with them. I hope you guys have learned a little bit. These are just really basic and quick stuff. If you want me to expand on anything or talk about anything, you can leave comments down at the bottom or request maybe like an expanded video or something. I don't know. I'll leave a lot of good links in the sidebar, one of these, and hopefully it'll help you out. There's Lucky Glider Sanctuary and Rescue on YouTube, and he has a lot of great videos that touch upon some of the stuff that I've been talking about. I would definitely check out his mill breeder section, because a lot of the stuff that I've talked about he expands on, and they're very, very good videos to watch. So I hope that you guys maybe learned a little bit. Let me just introduce you to my gliders really fast, since I have them on me. They're right in here. You can see a little hand right there. Right there. I'll show you. There's Totoro and Pix in here. Hi! There's Totoro, and Pix is in there somewhere. Oh, he's right under there. He's sleeping. So I hope you guys learned a little bit. Thanks for watching. Bye!